The girls. Those legs. That voice. Introducing Totally Tina, the UK's official #1 10-piece production paying tribute to the queen of rock and roll. This multi-award-winning 2-hour spectacular is the ultimate live celebration of Tina Turner. This larger-than-life production brings its own private dancers, faithfully recreating all the moves that made Tina famous. So, bring your dancing shoes, join in the fun, and let's make steamy windows. Totally Tina is revered worldwide. Its commitment to quality, dazzling audience, nationally and internationally. Here's what our fans have to say.
I feel like I've seen Tina Turner.
From the early days of Nutbush City to the comeback anthems of Private Dancer, the setlist is jam-packed with over 4 decades of sing-along hits. So come and join the celebration for simply the best tribute to the legend herself.
I bet you're in a good mood after that announcement, aren't you?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's all a little bit scary, isn't it? It's like, well, when does the theatres actually open again? When can we actually do this? It's sort of like, it's an interesting roadmap, but the problem with most theatre companies, as they'll all tell you, is that you've got to sell tickets well beforehand. And we've done that, and then it's all got cancelled again, so it's a little bit scary.
Well, you know, for the benefit of the people watching this and listening to this in the next few days, the day they recorded this was Monday, the 22nd of February, which was the day that Boris announced all of his new plans to get things going in his few steps anyway. But let's not get bogged down with Boris and his let's do this on that date and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking to a Tina Turner. Am I calling you a Tina Turner impersonator or a tribute act? What's the correct term?
Well, to be honest, tributes used to mean that you just paid homage to the person. You didn't used to have to dress up like them. But thanks to a wonderful show that I was on years ago, not as Tina, called Stars in Their Eyes, tribute started meaning impersonating them. So I suppose it could be a mixture of both. But what Totally Tina encompasses is 5 musicians, over 14 dancers that work for our show, and a big sound and lighting team. So Totally Tina isn't really just me. We are a recreation of a Tina concert, and that's the way we like to label ourselves.
Well, you put me in my place then anyway. Wow. No, this is not just a Tina Turner act then, is it? It's a huge show in the style of Tina Turner then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a full recreation of her concerts. Obviously, we can't do everything that she did in Wembley. I don't know if anyone's ever seen, there's a ginormous arm that comes across the stage and she used to hang on the edge of it.
Never seen that.
We haven't got the cherry picker or the train or anything like that. But we have a lot of different things that we've created ourselves, and a lot of things that we've actually taken from lots of different concerts over the years.
Let's go back a little bit. You mentioned Stars in Their Eyes. Tell us a bit about that then. What made you go on there? And I take it you did Tina on there, yourself. So.
No, I didn't. Would you believe it? I was actually in the final with the Tina, though. So that was like really strange, as if I'm meant to be that. But years ago, I was a cabaret singer around the northwest of Liverpool. And every time that a competition came up, whether it was Potto Gold or Opportunity Knocks, you'd try and go for them. And Stars in Their Eyes, a couple of times I tried, but I didn't look or sound like anybody. So I thought, well, I had to go at Cher, I had to go at Alanis Morissette, and I wasn't getting anywhere. And then a friend of mine heard a lady on the radio. She just brought out a brand new song, and she said, it just sounds like you when you do your Aretha Franklin style voice. And I went, okay. So I went and got the album, and I got through the audition right the way through. There was no messing or anything. Straight to the final after my heat. And I said, tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Anastasia.
No.
Do you remember Anastasia?
I had
this blonde wig on. Yeah, long blonde hair. I had to keep it a secret for a year.
I found
And I looked so
Anastasia.
different when I walked through the doors. I had dark hair then. Really, I mean, as you can see, I've got quite curly hair. And when I walked through the doors, I came out with this long blonde hair and these tinted glasses on. And I sang, I'm out of love, set me free. And that's how the Tina impersonation came along, because Anastasia stopped releasing records and I wasn't asked for the character as much. And I wanted to carry on impersonating because I thought it was really great. Some of the jobs were amazing. So people said to me, when you sing as Anastasia, you really, really sound like Tina Turner. And I went, yeah, but have you seen me? I don't really look like her. And the more I looked at my hair, the way it's gone now, my wig actually looks like this. But last year, before Grey, closing of hairdressers and COVID, my hair was like red or dark brown. And I looked nothing like her, but now I just look like my wig. So it morphed into being Tina because I'm out of love. Just sounds like you're simply the best.
Yes. Why
The
has
voices
nobody ever
are
said
really
this,
similar.
that they have similar voices?
Yeah, they really do. They
That
really
is
do.
absolutely bizarre. So I'm guessing in the show you what's the politically correct way of saying this? You tan up? Is that
No, I don't
oh,
actually.
don't
I
you?
don't actually. I literally use. I mean, I'm quite olive skinned anyway,
Right.
so I just literally go out the way I am now, au natural. The idea is to give everybody a recreation of the feel that they had when they were in a Tina concert, and hopefully all the costumes and all the routines and the banging vocal. That is hopefully what gives everybody the impersonation. Now, sometimes I used to work for a lot of cruise ships, and I'm normally in the Caribbean for about half of the year, so I naturally have darker skin, and then sometimes in the earlier months I have paler skin because I've got some Spanish blood in my family, you see, hence the crazy hair.
Yeah, humidity sends the hair a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So do you do the walk as well? Because Tina Turner's got this specific walk. Now, my dad used to say that she suffered badly with arthritis. Is that true in real life?
Somebody once said to me, I'm going to move the camera now so anyone watching could be amused by this. Somebody actually said to me, sorry, I've been in the gym.
Okay.
Somebody said to me she wouldn't stop a pig in an alley. And that's what I can understand. So Tina is sort of bent knees. So you have to keep your knees fluid all the time like this. She's not a person who stands up when she's dancing. She's not doing this, dance, da, da, da. Everything's sort of starting from that era. And her arms are out to the side. So that's sort of like the Tina stance to start off with. So when you're doing the same moves, it's ba 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 ba. So it keeps you in that mode. But she's mega energetic.
So
She's so dynamic.
Like then why does she stand like that? Because she looks like she's got backache or
I personally think it's the 5-inch heels that she's been wearing. Her knees have gone because that's what it is with me.
Oh my goodness. So out of all the Tina Turner songs you do, which one is your favorite one you do?
Right. Well, last year when people were asking me, I always used to say Proud Mary because I love the dance routine. It's a cracking version of the original Creedence Clearwater. And then I would also say Help as well, because her version of the Beatles' Help is amazing. But this year, while we've been on lockdown, we've been very, very creative. We have our own personalized rock medley, which includes a ton of the tracks that she did with Mick Jagger, Elton John, and the Rolling Stones, and also who was the other person in it? I can't remember. It's Only Rock and Roll, The Bitch Is Back, Get Back by the Beatles, and Honky Tonk Woman. So we've made that all into one big medley called the Rock Medley. And we've just learned, what's the other one we've just learned? She does an amazing version, amazing. So we've just had it created by our MD, and it's ZZ Top. And it's, do you ever remember the song Legs?
Yeah, she's got
legs.
Yeah.
You know how to use them. You watch Tina doing that live. So we're always looking for inspiration because the majority of Tina's catalogue is covers of other people's songs.
Is it?
Nearly all of them. Yeah. You'd be very surprised. So here's her originals. Well, the only song that Tina wrote was Nutbush. All the others were written by different people. Joe White wrote Steamy Windows. U2, Bono, he wrote Goldeneye. So lots of people have written different songs for her. She's only written Nutbush. So Nutbush and River Deep and Steamy Windows and Private Dancer and What's Love, you'll know all them as Tina songs. They were 100% hers. But then you pick Proud Mary. Proud Mary's Creedence Clearwater Revival. you've got Simply the Best. Do you realize it was released by Bonnie Tyler literally 1 year before Tina brought it out?
Yes,
It's actually a cover.
somebody showed me, and Bonnie Tyler did a video to it as well, didn't she?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And you've got It Takes Two and Let's Stay Together and oh my goodness me, Addicted to Love, Disco Inferno. Then you've got all the ones that I'm talking about. It's Only Rock and Roll. Oh my goodness me, the list just goes on absolutely forever. All the different covers that she's done over the years.
but she did have a dance hit in the early noughties, which I have on a Now album in my car actually. When the Heartache Is Over. Do you know that one?
Yep. I know I won't be missing you.
Yes.
Won't look over my shoulder.
So going back to the Tina Turner thing, then my favorite is Steamy Windows, which is from what album is that from?
Terrible with
I
the
remember
album.
the dress she's in on the album anyway. Just
Yes, isn't it? Is
white
it
dress.
the Versace one? Yes, I know the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steamy Windows is one of my favorite songs that she's ever done. So I'm guessing you do that in the show anyway, don't you?
Yes, I do. But that, once again, even though it wasn't actually written for Tina, it's actually a cover. If you listen to the original, which was written by Joe White, it's very, very country.
And did you know there was a version of The Best that she did as a duet with somebody called Jimmy Barnes?
Oh no, I don't know that one. Not Johnny Barnes, not the Liverpool football player.
No. No. Yeah, she did it as a duet, and I think it's on one of her CD singles because I remember having it and going, well, that's a different version. But it was a duet that she did with somebody as well. Yeah.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
I know I've sang it with Tom Jones once. There's a Tom Jones tribute that I know called Tomtastic, and I did lots of duets with him. So he joined me for Proud Mary and Simply the Best, and I joined him for Mama Told Me Not to Come and Kiss.
Oh, I got it. Oh, that is. Please tell me that's all on YouTube to watch.
It is actually. It's called Tom and Tina in Concert, and it's on the Totally Tina channel, and you'll see lots of us. We were at Butlands.
Oh, my days. So when's this gig happening then that we're talking about today?
Well, fingers crossed. We've got the 25th of April. Fingers crossed. But the backup date is the 6th of June. So that's the backup date. And by then, I mean, everyone will either be back in pubs and not care, or they'll be like, oh, no, I'm a little bit tentative. What's actually crazy about this gig and how they've come about it is they've made it such a COVID space. It's so safe that it doesn't matter what's happening. It's going to be something really, really unusual. So even if there was hundreds of people in the pubs and the town centres are completely full of people and everyone's living their normal life, it's going to be so different to drive your car into the Trafford Centre underneath a 70,000 square foot tent with this revolving stage in the centre. And you all get your chairs and your picnic tables and everything outside to the right of your car. So there's always a car in between each bubble. And you get to watch this open air live concert. It's going to be so different to anything that you could experience anyway. I'm hoping that even if the town centres are full, that the people who paid for the ticket go, no, this is going to be really interesting and very different.
And I would want to go on the basis that you've covered all the aspects here. So if we can go to mass gatherings by then, all well and good. Yeah. If not, you've still got everything in place that you could still do the gig anyway, no matter what.
Exactly. It's very, very cool. We've seen the plans for it, and we've looked at the artist impression, and it's very, very clever. And I know it's something that we've never done anything like that. And we've done festivals on the beach in Barcelona for Pride, and we've been to Glaston Budget every year, which excuse me, it's very good. It's absolutely excellent. All the festivals that we go to, we have the Legends festivals this year. So we've got 13 of the Legends festivals up and down the country. And we've done street festivals in town centres in Germany and Amsterdam and all sorts of places. But we've never done anything quite like this. This is very, very different.
I like the idea of a revolving dance floor as well, you were talking about a minute ago.
I know, it sounds crazy.
Get dizzy on something? Have you done one of these before?
Well, we did. We were in a festival called Hengeveld over in Germany, and that was a half revolving stage. So it started off like that, and the audience are sort of there, and it went whoop, and then whoop. So it's like went left and right, but luckily it wasn't very fast. So you did get off it to go and do a costume change. And when you come to go back on, the stage is in a different place.
Oh, Justine, it's really good to talk to you, by the way, and I hope everything works out for you as well. So where can people find out all the details of this gig then?
Oh, well, they'll be able to find it all on our website. Go to totallytina.co.uk. You can also find us on Facebook on Totally Tina and Totally Tina Tribute on Facebook, Totally Tina 1 on Twitter. We'll be flooding the place with as much information about the gig as possible. And if anyone has any questions, then always contact us and we'll ask the promoters on their behalf. But it should be something really, really different, really interesting. And to be in Manchester and doing this, it's great. At least we're getting back. We've got some idea.
It's really exciting that we're actually talking about gigs again. You know, it just feels fantastic. Before you go, there's two more things you got to do, Justine, before you go.
Okay.
The first thing is you need to do me a little bit of Tina before you go.
Okay. Do you just want it a cappella?
Well, actually, just a cappella, yeah, if you don't mind. Not, I don't want the full song. I don't mind. Well, if you want to do the full song, I don't mind. But just give us a sample of what you can do as Tina Turner, and also we're going to do a retro Hall of Fame, which I'll explain to you in a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody does want to go and see any of my lockdown videos, if you go onto YouTube and you find Totally Tina, you will find 10 videos that we did last year during lockdown. Every Monday night, I would dress up in some of the thousands of costumes that I had of Tina. I even dressed up as Anastasia one of the weeks. And you'll be able to see me for about 50 minutes every Monday night for about 8 different shows, singing every song that we could from Tina. You also had one in my dancer's garden. We did a full one in the garden and we did another one in a club with the full band. So if you want some freebie videos to have a look, you're very welcome to see them. We've also got a DVD, which you can see on our website, which was a bit of a strange socially distanced. That socially distanced, there was nobody there. There was no audience whatsoever. And we filmed the whole show for 2 hours online. And we've got that on DVD now. But in the meantime, I'll do a little bit of, I think, Nutbush. So this is going to get quite loud now. Are you ready to turn the record levels down?
I thought you were going to do something like What You've Got to Do It, because it's just been in the charts again, hasn't it? There's been a remake of it.
It has actually. There's been a couple of dance versions of that. Whenever I'm doing a sound check, it's always best to give the loudest voice that you're going to give that night, rather than you must understand that the touch of your hand makes my pulse react. Rather than that, it's better to go church house, a schoolhouse, outhouse. Oh, on highway number 19, the people keep the city clean. They call it Nutbush. Ooh, Nutbush. In the long time in Nutbush City.
Does that not hurt your voice to do that?
Maybe after about a year's worth of it, about 170 gigs it does. It's weird because Justine singing as Justine, if I was just going to sing that song now, it would be church house, gin house, a schoolhouse, outhouse, on highway number 19. So my normal voice is totally different. I have to put on this voice when I'm doing it.
You got that gravel there, aren't you? That she projects with, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's do a retro Hall of Fame anyway. So all of my guests get to do one of these anyway, and it's part of the brand 3 Men and a Microphone, which is what you will be part of. So basically, have you ever seen Room 101 on the telly?
Yes, I have.
Where they pick an item, an animate object, and they say how much they love it and why they love it, and it may go into Room 101 or it may just disappear.
Okay.
Ether forever. Well, this is similar. It's a retro item, an animate object. It could be a DVD. It could be a piece of clothing. It could be an item of food. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that are already in there. The shell suit. I don't think the bum bag didn't make it in there, I don't think. We've had a toy in there called Big Tracks. Do you remember Big Tracks from the 80s?
Was it like a... Oh, no, I know the one you mean. It was like a tape thing.
No, the Big Track was like a car.
Like a truck?
Yeah, like a truck. Yeah, like a truck.
Yes. Yeah. I know. I think I know what you mean.
One of those are in there. So what's your retro Hall of Fame?
Right. Could you run upstairs? Sorry, I have my drummer here with me. Could you run upstairs and get me any one of my Tina thousands of shoes, sparkly ones, please, as sparkly as possible. Right. Okay. So ladies will be able... It's got to be clothing and it's got to be Tina related. So ladies are going to have to choose this, and you've got the negative and you've got the positive of them. So once we've grabbed one of these, I think I know exactly what it's going to be, and it's definitely Tina related. And it's not anything like my gym shoes. I've only just started this month. I thought, oh, lockdown has not been kind. I've got to get back into these tiny costumes.
Oh dear. Well, we've all been there. We're all there. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 12th of April when I can actually go to the gym and watch telly.
Yeah, I've avoided the gym for 28 years. That'll do. That's it. Right, okay. So this is going to be from the 1980s, and is still very, very popular today. It's going to be a stiletto shoe. Ooh. Famous for what, Tina? I've got something like 150 pairs of these, and they're all crystalled. As you can see, they've all got crystals on them. And with these shoes, as any lady who started wearing them in the 80s will tell you, especially trying to dance, it was agony. By the end of the night, your feet were squished into the bottom of them. Your toes were all crushed. Everyone who was born in the 80s and wore these has got feet that shape. A chiropodist will tell you that. Nowadays, they've got pads and things, and they've got things that you can put in them. But lots of ladies still wear them now. One, because how amazing they make your legs look. They're really, really sexy. And I'd say they're the most iconic shoe that women can buy. We've had Cubans and platforms and wedges and stacks and everything. But whenever you come back to a lady looking elegant, or a Tina impersonator, this is the staple, most important thing that definitely should stay around. It should not be, even though they cause terrible pain, they're agony, and you want every single pair of them, because men hate the fact that we have 150 pairs of these in our wardrobes, but they have to stay for us girls.
Well, we'll have to see what the vote says anyway, to see if it goes into the Retro Hall of Fame or if it goes into the big black hole of abyss, never to be seen or mentioned again. I have a problem with those because I'm only 5'2" or 5'3". I'm, Richard Hammond is taller than I am. Right?
Well, this is it. You see, if you started wearing these, you'd be all right.
So when I met my wife, in trainers and slippers and normal shoes, I'm taller than her. The minute she puts them on, game over.
You see, this is the vote, you see, because, exactly those reasons. You can actually turn to the point that's saying, well, I don't like somebody in those heels because they're taller than me. Yeah. Or they're complaining at the end of the night because their feet are hurting and I want to stay out for another hour. Yeah. But when it comes to being Tina in these shoes, I'll put it back again. I don't know if you can see my feet right there. Just about. So once you're in your Tina heels and you're doing the same sort of moves, it just makes you become Tina. And it makes you feel cool and sexy the way she does.
Fabulous. Justine, thank you very much for your time and chatting about the gig that will be going ahead, whether you have to stick to social distancing or not, or you got to do it in the cars and all that kind of stuff, or if you can actually do it like a proper old-fashioned gig. I'm sure you'll have an absolutely fantastic time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Drive inside and bring your stilettos.
Thank you very much.